children. I welcome you all in the online teaching of maths. Today we will discuss the chapter 2 of our maths book, that is polynomials. Your homework will be that you have to complete the exercise 2.1 and 2.2 in your fair notebook that already you have maintained. So let's come to our topic, polynomials. Before I explain polynomials, let's understand three terms. The very first is variable. Variable word arises from the word vary. Vary means to change. Those variables are those which change the value according to the given conditions. They are generally denoted by x, y, t, omega, like that. The second in the line is constant. Constant are those whose value remains same. For example, if I say 0, in all the conditions the value will remain 0. If I say 1, it will remain 1. So they are denoted by real numbers. The third is, we use the term n. N to denote the power, that is, they are non-negative integers. They can take the value of 0, 1, 2, 3 onwards, as we discussed in real numbers. When these three combine, variable, constant, and then we get the polynomials. For example, if I write the algebraic expression in terms of x and the polynomial, it's denoted by px. We read it polynomial in terms of x. So an xn, the general form is an xn plus an minus 1 xn minus 1 plus up to a0 x0. You can see here an minus 1, they all are variables. Sorry, an minus 1, they all are constants. Now x, it's a variable. n minus 1, they are non-negative integers. Non-negative integers means they can't be fractions, they can't be negative. So when they all combine, variable, constant, non-negative integers, then they give the polynomial. Sometimes they can ask you a question, find out whether the given expression is a polynomial or not. So if I am given x raised to the power minus 1 upon 5 plus 1. So you can see it's not a polynomial. Here the degree is minus 1. That is, n is not a non-negative integer. So it's not a polynomial. Now let's come to the next term, degree of a polynomial. Degree of a polynomial, it refers to highest power of variable in a polynomial. For example, if I am having y cube plus y square plus 2, here the variable is y. And what is its highest power? Highest power of y. Highest power of y here you can see it's 3. So this implies it's a polynomial of degree 3. So I hope it's clear the degree of a polynomial. Now let's consider the types of polynomial. If we classify on the basis of number of terms, our basis is number of terms, then they are of following types. The first is monomial. That means a polynomial with one term. binomial. Let's take an example for it. 1a binomial with, it's a polynomial with two terms like 2x square plus 1. So 1, two terms are there. Third, trinomial. It's a polynomial with three terms like 3x cube plus 2x square plus 1. So one term, second term, third term. And if number of terms, n number of terms are there, we call it a polynomial. Now the next is classify. We will classify the polynomial on the basis of degree. The basis is degree. So it could be a 0 degree polynomial like 1. So you can see 1 can be written as 1 raised to the 1 into 1 times x raised to the power 0. So it will be a 0 degree polynomial. The second is linear polynomial. It's a polynomial with degree 1. For example, ax plus b, where a not equal to 0, because if a equals to 0, then x will vanish, b will be left, it will be a 0 degree polynomial. The third is quadratic polynomial. It's a polynomial with degree 2. So general form is ax square plus bx plus c, where a not equal to 0. The next is cubic polynomial. It's a polynomial with degree 3. So general form is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus t. The next is biquadratic polynomial. It's a polynomial with degree 4. Now so I hope it's clear. 0 degree polynomial with degree 0, linear polynomial with degree 1, quadratic polynomial with degree 2, cubic polynomial with degree 3, biquadratic polynomial with degree 4. And what's the degree? Degree, it's the highest power of the variable. Like if it's the variable x, then its highest power is 3. So therefore it's a cubic polynomial. Now the next term that we will discuss is value of a polynomial. Value of a polynomial means we have to find the value of a polynomial at a given point. So examiner may give you a point that find the value of this polynomial at a given point. For example, I am having the polynomial x plus 1. So he may say that find the value of this polynomial at x equal to 2. So if I have to find the value of a polynomial at x equal to 2, instead of x I will put p2. So I will put x equal to 2. So it will become 2 plus 1 equals to 3. It means the value of a polynomial at x equal to 2 is 3. The next term is 0 of a polynomial. 0 of a polynomial, it is the point at which the value of a polynomial becomes 0. I repeat, it is the point at which the value of a polynomial becomes 0. For example, I am given x plus 1 is the polynomial. So let put x equal to 1. So it will give 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Let put x equals to minus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0. So you can see that x equal to minus 1, the polynomial becomes 0. So this implies x equal to minus 1 is 0 of a polynomial. So I hope you understood. 0 of a polynomial, it is the value of variable at which the value of a polynomial becomes 0. Now let's understand the geometrical meaning of zeros. of a polynomial. Children, geometrically, zero of a polynomial is x coordinate of a point at which graph of polynomial intersects the x-axis. Let me make it clear by taking an example. That is your exercise 2.1 also. So look here carefully, children. If I am given this graph, if I make a polynomial, so you can see it's a linear polynomial. So this is intersecting the x-axis at this point. So x coordinate of this point will give the 0 of a polynomial, and this polynomial is having only 1 0. If the graph is like this, so you can see the graph is intersecting the x-axis at 2 points. So it will be having 2 zeros. Further, I explained by taking a quadratic polynomial. Now, quadratic polynomial, already I told you the degree is 2. Its general form is ax square plus bx plus c, a not equal to 0. So, the degree is 2. So, it can have at most 2 zeros. So, I want to say that maybe it's having no 0, 1 0. 1 0 means same zeros, x equal to 1, x equal to 1 for example, and 2 different zeros. I just explain it geometrically. Now children, for quadratic polynomial, if we draw the graph is parabola. So at the most 2 zeros, so 3 cases arise. First, so you can see the parabola is not intersecting the x-axis. It means no 0. Here you can see it's intersecting the axis at 1 point. So 1 0. Here you can see the parabola is intersecting the x-axis at 2 points. So 2 zeros. And the point abscissa will give the 0 of the polynomial. So I hope you understood. Geometrically, it is the x coordinate of the point at which the graph intersects the x-axis, and the number of times it will intersect, that many zeros the polynomial is having. Clear? For example, it can give you how many zeros this polynomial is having. So you can see the polynomial is intersecting the x-axis at 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So how many zeros? 3 zeros. And their x coordinates, that is abscissa, will give that number of zeros. Now children, the next is relationship between zeros and coefficients. Again, I consider the quadratic polynomial. Generally expressed as ax square plus bx plus c. You can see the coefficient of x square is a, coefficient of x is b, where c is the constant term. So we said that the quadratic equation is having at the most 2 zeros. So let's consider, let the zeros are alpha and beta. So the first relationship, sum of zeros equal to alpha plus beta is minus b upon a. What is b? You can see coefficient of x square is a, coefficient of x is b, constant term is c. So I can write it minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of x square. The second relationship is product of zeros, alpha beta, it's equal to c upon s. I can say constant term upon coefficient of x square. So let me explain this by taking let's do the question number 1 of exercise 2.2. If you can you might have opened the box. The question is saying find out the zeros of the following equations and verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. So the very first equation is x square minus 2x minus 8. So let's find the zeros by splitting the middle term. So I can write it x square minus 4x plus 2x minus 8. So x minus 4 plus 2 x minus 4. X plus 2 into x minus 4. You know, already I told you to find zeros, put px equals to 0. So either x plus 2 equal to 0 or x minus 4 equal to 0. So x equals to minus 2. So that is the first 0. X equals to 4, second 0. So let alpha equals to minus 2, let beta equals to 4. So verification of relationship between the zeros and coefficients. So the very first is sum of zeros equals to alpha plus beta minus 2 plus 4. It means, so you can see minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of x square. Let's verify for product of zeros. You can see minus 8, it means constant term upon coefficient of x square. So you can see I verified the relationship also. The sum of zeros is equal to the minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of x square, and the product is equal to the constant term upon coefficient of x square. So hence verified the relationship. Now sometimes children, we are given the sum and product and we have to find the equation, we have to find that polynomial. So if to find polynomial when sum product of zeros is given. So for this we can use x square minus sum of zeros x plus product of zeros. I take an example. Let me find the polynomial. If I am given the sum of zeros 1 and product of zeros 1. So the polynomial will be x square minus, what is the sum? Sum we have to take, it's 1 plus product. So what is the product? 1. So it will be x square minus x plus 1. So all the best. Complete the exercise 2.1, 2.2. Stay home, stay safe.